to explore the psyche, to come into greater correspondence with your subconscious creativity, and to really grow as a person. And so I'm hoping that lucid dreaming will be one of the techniques that helps the world shift its collective psyche and helps us find a better place.
Mm-hmm. I do too. I think everybody's kind of searching for something that's going to give them some sense of direction and, expression in a way like that. So when you're talking, I've read this book as well. You quote it in your book, The Journeys Out of the Body. So there's several disciplines. The Monroe Institute is one where you can get out of your body, and some of these others, like the Journey Out of the Body, that's where you're kind of floating above. So are there differentiations in your mind as to the degree of depth of the experience with these different ones, or are they all sort of on the same level?
That's a great question. In my book, I have a chapter where I try to differentiate lucid dreaming from out-of-body experiences. They're similar, but in my opinion, they're not the same. And I think one of the reasons, or one of the main distinctions, is something that Robert Monroe of the Monroe Institute brought up. And he said that in an out-of-body experience, you basically accept that environment you're in. You accept it, and just pretty much like I accept the physical environment that surrounds me now. But in a lucid dream, by contrast, you can change it. If you don't like the color of the room, you can announce to the dream, hey, I want to see blue walls instead of red. And normally the walls will change just immediately, or you can pretty much, it's all plastic in the dream state. It's very plastic. You can make it do whatever. But in an out of body experience, it's seems very real and solid. Also, normally a lucid dream occurs within a dream. So you're walking through the forest, you see your deceased grandmother, you go, wait a second, she's been dead for 40 years, this must be a dream. It occurs in the dream. Normally out-of-bodies occur at that kind of funny intermixing of waking and sleeping. Sometimes you'll hear a vibration, sometimes you'll hear a kind of humming noise around your head, and then you'll find that you roll out of your body or you shoot out of your body and you're flying through the neighborhood, for example. And so even though they're similar on some levels, I think they're distinctly different enough to say that out-of-bodies are a different phenomenon than lucid dreams.
Well, what you're saying just gives us some insight into dynamics of the brain and its capabilities to have different levels and different experiences, though sometimes we might consider that they're similar, in terms of the out of our normal daily conscious self. And to be able to tour the world and fly around your house, outside, go visit somebody else in another place, and that I think is an interesting phenomenon about our ability to traverse the conscious mind.
Right. In my book, I include some of my own out-of-body experiences to just kind of show how they're very interesting, but they are different than lucid dreams. So I do agree with you that it does seem to show that there's various forms of conscious exploration, and it's a very interesting and curious and also complex subject.
Mm-hmm. Well, I think for me, when I think about the possibilities, sleeping, dreaming, walking, having daydreams, seeing things, I've had an experience of having been through some hypnotherapy because my neighbor, or friend, she's not really a neighbor, but she was a friend of mine who did this, and so she said, "Why don't you come over and just, let's just do this, just kind of for fun, And so I went over. Oh my God, I got deeper than anybody she'd ever had. It scared her, and it was so funny because then I came home and I had these figures coming through my wall, and I looked at them. They were all kind of gray figures, and I thought, well, they weren't really good, so I told them to go get out of the house, you know. But it was like, wait a minute, what's going on with my mind, for heaven's sake? So I think that, you know, our we don't really know the capabilities of our brain, and you know, we're so busy living this life that we're living, and going to the store, buying stuff, especially buying stuff that's really big, you know, and spending time with our family and so forth. But there is so much more that we're capable of, and I don't think we really realize that full extent.
You know, I agree with you totally. I think lucid dreaming is one of those practices that if you go deep enough, you will begin to see the capabilities of the mind. And just like in hypnotherapy, where we move our conscious focus deeper into the subconscious, in lucid dreaming we become consciously aware in the dream state, which psychology tells us occurs in the subconscious. And when we're consciously aware in the subconscious, we're really at an incredible platform where we can look at those capabilities of the mind towards healing, towards getting inner information, towards possibly even accessing telepathic and clairvoyant information. And that's what I have in my book. I have chapters on this that kind of suggests that lucid dreaming really opens up and shows the potential of that deeper self, that inner mind.
Mhm, mhm. Well, let's have a little break right now, and then when we come back, we're going to continue with it.